I need to stop trying to be the fastest. I'm 23 and I've spent most of those years trying to be the best. And trying to be the best isn't something that makes me happy anymore. In fact, I think it takes away from enjoying the sport. I'm less focused on being the best now than I am about seeing things along the way. Growing up, I thought the ideal role model was the person standing on the top of the podium. The person who worked the hardest and that effort paid off in terms of how they finished in a race. And that's basically how I viewed all my relationships until about a year ago.
That was a sick ride. That's just amazing. What a spot.
For the first time, I'm seeing the roads that my dad called home. I spent the last week on this amazing adventure, driving up the California coast with my dad, revisiting all these places that he called home at various points in his life, and seeing them through this amazing lens of his memory. I've always wanted to do a longer road trip with my dad. Right now I'm living in Santa Cruz and I'm bike racing a lot on the weekends, but it's really the first time that we've done something just us in at least 6 or 7 years.
So you guys ready for the big drive today?
Oh yeah, are you guys ready? We're going to turn this into redwood trees, estuaries, and then we're going to turn and go up the Trinity River. And then you'll all understand why everybody north of Sacramento wants to make that part of California a different state. Tule Lake, town of 1,000 people.
There are going to be volcanoes exploding on the left, and then there's going to be waterfalls on the right, and then in the middle,
Pterodactyls flying from one to the other.
T-Rexes eating small children. And then if you look to the right, there's going to be a reenactment of the Passion of the Christ on top of the waterfall with the volcanoes exploding in the background.
That's throwing the Virgin in. 8 churches and 9 bars.
That'll be what's happening in Tule Lake. So.
Solid.
Recently, I've been giving a lot of thought to how where you grew up affects how you choose to live the rest of your life. When my dad was younger, he made a choice to carry himself according to what he valued and what he loved. And those were all products of where he grew up.
They've got this fire break down here that's like a lane and a half.
Meaning a part of my dad is here in these hills and these valleys and these rocks. The dirt, the dust, Tule Lake. The old town. And that's a part of him that I would never see anywhere else in the world. In 1962, my grandfather spent a third of his yearly salary on a Nikon f/35mm film camera. It really pissed my grandma off. But that camera ended up in the hands of my dad when he was growing up in Tule Lake. And in high school, I inherited it, and I've been shooting with it ever since. And it's been so cool to be here in the place where my grandfather first used this camera, and then my dad, and now me. The only set of eyes that these scenes are new to are mine. The camera and my dad and my grandfather, they've seen them all before. And to be holding this camera just feels like it ties me to the place and to the people I'm here with. This trip was really not about what we saw, but more about what we heard from each other. Whether that was silence in the van, time spent together, or things that were actually said. And it was a trip about reconnecting and trying to figure out who we each are now and seeing that person for the first time in each other. And it was a trip that was as much about biking as it was about just being together and for the first time being friends, not just father and son. The best way to be a role model is not about being on top of the podium. I think being the best role model is about carrying yourself in a way that shows that you care genuinely about other people. And you care about the sport that you're involved in, but you're involved in it because of the community it fosters, not because you care about being the best. My dad grew up playing basketball for the Tule Lake Honkers, but he was never on any major podiums. That wasn't important to him, and more I'm realizing that's not what is important to me. What was important to me was that he worked hard and loved what he did, and that's what I'm trying to do now.
Feel it now every time I leave. It hits me hard and it cuts me deep. I'm 1,000 miles from happiness.